So tomorrow we're going. Sorry about that notification right there. Ironic timing. But like I was saying, tomorrow that was an email notification. But tomorrow, the 9th of July, will be 2 weeks into MeTV Toons being in existence, and so far, everybody has heaped nothing but praise on it. The only drawback, of course, is not everybody has it as part of the OTAs, over the air networks, or the cable channels. However, as I've said before, and others have said before, it takes time. I think there are cable outlets, or at least cable-like outlets like TDS and and other places that are getting it as we speak. Some even illegally, believe it or not. From what I understand, they're able to find something. I think it's like IPTV or something like that. They're able to use that and they're able to get it in legally or not legally. I'm not really sure. But, there are still some areas it is yet to, really, come into. However, there are a few cable outlets, cable companies in certain parts of the country that do have it. Spectrum in Philadelphia, from what I understand, has it. And I think in some other areas it has it. I'm sure Xfinity in some regions of the country has it. Same with, Cox and at COX, by the way, Cox, COX. I'm sure they have it. There's a lot of the notable cable outlets, that are utilized across the country that probably have it in certain regions, just not all of them. But over time, I think it is going, as I've said before, I think it is going to show up. As I mentioned, I think we will have at least 60%, of the country, 60%, maybe 65% of the country that will have access to MeTV Toons, not just, because of streaming apps like Philo and Friendly TV, and as well as over-the-air networks and all that. But a majority of where you think it should be will have it. A majority of where you think it should be, will have it. What's going on right now, basically, as I said before, is they're just working out all the nook and crannies, all the I's and T's that need to be dotted. They're trying to make sure that all the time zones and everything are, worked out correctly. Because right now, if you watch MeTV Toons on Friendly TV, you'd be getting the Eastern time zone showcase, if you will. So if you're watching on Friendly TV, what time is it? It's about 11:20 right now, Pacific time. If you're living here on the Pacific time zone, it's 11:20. Sorry about that, portfolio. I don't know why they keep calling. But anyway, like I said, if you live here on the West Coast, as I've talked about before, and it's about 11:21 right now, about 11:21 on the West Coast, excuse me. If you're watching it through over the air or some of the outlets that I mentioned that might have it now, certain regions, right about now you'd be getting the Peter Potamus Show, and then Wacky Races, Perils of Penelope Pitstop. But if you're watching this on Friendly TV, and I've talked about this in a audio video as well, which you can also listen to the audio version on the podcast, BW Rosasist Discussions, you can find the link in the description. If you're watching it on Friendly TV or Philo, instead you'd be getting basically right now Casper and Company. If you're watching on Friendly TV. And that's the one thing Friendly TV does need to work out. And same thing with Philo. And same thing with other streaming apps that might be getting it or have got it. They need to basically ensure, that, people have the right to program the time zone. To their area, to their region. So that way people can have access to it, to the shows that come on at their time. But that's the one thing they have to work out. And again, though, if you're watching it on Friendly, you're watching Casper and Company right now. If you're on the East Coast, same thing if you're living in Hawaii, in certain parts of Hawaii and Alaska. You're supposed to be watching what you want to watch this time, but instead you're watching, the Eastern time zone. But over time, like I said before, it is going to come. It is going to show up. And again, I think they're waiting to, ensure everything works out fine. All the bugs are taken care of. all the I's and T's are crossed. And and again, as I said in one video, patience is golden. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so far so good. And 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, so far so good. Mostly all high praise, and we'll just see what happens. The only negative is people are still waiting and getting impatient. But again, patience is everything. So again, I think it's all the I's and T's. And like I said, they're just waiting to cross all the I's and the T's and all that. Make sure like I was saying, sorry about that. But like I was saying, they were just waiting for. Sorry about that, but like I said, they're waiting for all the I's and T's to be crossed, waiting for all the bugs to be crossed. I mean, not crossed, but taken care of, and adjusting the time zone. As well as I think they want to wait till fall so that when the new program comes in, like they already have new stuff coming in at the end of this month, like the Scooby-Doo show's coming in. I think they have some Yogi stuff coming in to replace Yogi's gang. So there are going to be changes, and I think that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the fall to where we get some news and information more so than what we got right now. This is, like I said before, an appetizer. And we're going to get a full course meal starting possibly in the fall. So be on the lookout for that. But so far, the first 2 weeks, everybody has heaped nothing but praise on it. Again, the only drawbacks is, people are being impatient. They want it in their areas now. But again, just got to be patient. But let me know what your thoughts are so far on the first 2 weeks of MeTV Toons, and I'll talk to you later.